Hello my friends, welcome to Whitney Public Library's Great Science. My name is Sherry and I work at the Brooklyn Branch Library. Like many of you, one of my favorite characters is Harry Potter, and tomorrow, July 31st, is Harry Potter's birthday. So we would be remiss if we didn't do something to celebrate. So today we are going to explore science is magic. And our first spell that we're going to learn is Engorgio. And we thank weareteachers.com for this experiment. For this, you're going to need some vinegar, some baking powder, a clean, dry bottle. It could be a water bottle. I've got a glass bottle here. You're going to need a funnel and a teaspoon measure, and you're going to need a balloon, a measuring cup. And if you have one at home, a pipette or dropper would help as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure out a 1/4 cup of vinegar into our measuring cup, okay? So I've done that already. I'm gonna put that there. And you're going to take your balloon and you're gonna open it. Actually, give it a little stretch first, okay? So that'll make it a little bit easier for it to blow up. Even, you know that when you're trying to blow up a balloon at home. Okay, so give it a stretch. And you're going to take the funnel and you're going to put that right into the mouth of the balloon. Now, you're going to take a teaspoon of your baking soda. So let's just measure it out. And you're going to put it inside the balloon. And there we go. We're just going to drop it all in so it's not in the funnel anymore. We're going to take that funnel, clean it off a bit because it's just dry goods. Now, you're going to take your vinegar that we have in the cup, and you're going to use your funnel again, or you can use your pipette if you have it, and you're going to put that vinegar into the bottle. And do you have your wands ready? We're going to get ready for our spell. So, let's take our balloon and we're going to put it over the mouth of the bottle, just like this. And make sure that it's on that nice and tight. Move this aside. Tidy this area here for a second. And are you ready? Wands at the ready. On count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Engorgio. And look at that. Ta-da! Isn't that cool? So what's happening here is the vinegar is an acid and the baking soda is a base. And when you mix them together, they make carbon dioxide. And if you were here for our program, our bubble program, you would have found out that gas has mass and it takes up space. And so that's exactly what's happened here is that the carbon dioxide has gone up into the balloon and expanded it. How cool is that? Okay, I'm just gonna put that one aside. Our next spell is Wingardium Leviosa. And this is brought to us by steampoweredfamily.com. We're going to use magnets in this experiment to make our feather appear to float. So you are going to need a magnet. I have a couple of them here. I've got a craft magnet. I've got one of the school magnets. I've got these really tiny little magnets that my son lent me. And they're really small. There's actually about a stack of 10 right there. You're going to need some popsicle sticks, a paper clip or pin, a dowel, maybe some elastics or some tape. So let me just get some tape here. Some tape, and that's just to decorate your wand that you're going to create. You're also going to need some Lego. Now I have a Lego base that I already built from a previous project that I've done. So first we're going to build our anchor. You're going to take the Lego and you're going to create an anchor for your feather, because although it may seem to float, you don't want it to float away. you're going to need a little bit of fishing wire for this. So you're going to cut a little piece of the fishing wire. And let's see here. Our scissors. Cut a piece of fishing wire. There we go. And you're going to attach that to one of your paper clips. So just a little knot will do. I'm just going to double knot it here, and I'm going to make sure that it's pulled nice and tight so that it'll stay in place. Okay, so with your feather, you're going to thread the paper clip into your feather so that it's there. Now it's not really well hidden, but you can move the feather around a little bit so that it's there and it's connected to your fishing wire. Now you're going to take that fishing wire, the end of it, and you're going to put it between the blocks of Lego, and you're going to put another one over top so that it anchors it. You see that? It's not going to float away too far. Now, to make your wand, you're going to take your popsicle sticks, and you take your magnet, and you can put your magnet between. Now if you have a round magnet, you can do this as well this way. You're going to secure that magnet into the popsicle sticks. I'm just going to do this quickly with some elastics that I have on hand. And this will just make sure that our wand doesn't fall apart as we're using it. But it'll hold the magnet into place. Okay, so I'm just quickly putting some elastic on here. You can use them to decorate, or like I said, you can use some tape to decorate it as well. And are you ready for our next spell? Here we go. And so there's our wand. You see that it's going to pick up a paper clip like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to say the magic spell, and it's a swish and a flick, and it's Wingardium Leviosa. And ta-da! And there it is. It lifts our wand. Now if you have a stronger magnet, you can actually be able to hold it. You'll actually be able to hold it a little further away, and it'll actually look like it's levitating, but our magnets aren't that strong on these pieces. So we'll just make it look like it's lifted and floating. Wingardium Leviosa. And here we go. Ta-da! And our feather is floating. How fun is that? Okay, our next experiment, I'm just going to move this over to the side, is Herbificus. And this is a really fun one. And this is thanks to teachbesideme.com. And for this, you're going to need some paper. So just some copy paper is good. And I'm going to include a link at the bottom of the page to this template if you want to print it out, or you can draw out your own flowers. But you're going to draw some flowers on your paper, and they need to have some nice big petals and a space in the middle, okay, like that. And then once you have that, you're just going to cut them out. Now I've cut some out already, so I have a couple of them here. And you're going to use some crayons to decorate them because you want your flowers to be pretty when they bloom. I recommend the wax crayons, or if you have pencil crayons at home. I used some Sharpie markers when I was attempting this and practicing it, and it looks really lovely, but the design went through on both sides of the paper because the copy paper isn't that thick. So you decide what you want to do, but first you can color a design. So let's just pull out some colors here and color your flower. And I'm just going to do this quickly, but you can take time to design your flower however you like. And I was thinking that this would be really fun if you were doing something special for Mom. you could make some of these blooming flowers and make a big bath for her and have them in her bath and ready for her when she goes in. Okay, so we're just going to draw in a circle in the middle just to show that it's the center of our flower. And this isn't all beautiful and pretty because I'm just doing this quickly for us. But here's our flower. And I have a couple of others that I did. And I had my son's girlfriend make one as well. And we are going to take our flower and we're going to fold the petals into the center. Just like that. So let's try it on the other ones. And do you remember what the spell was called? So you're going to get your wands ready. Herbificus, right? So for this, you're going to need either a plate or a little dish. I've got a little container here. Just move things out of the way. And you're not going to see this easily, so I'm going to try this again afterwards. You're going to take your flower. Inside my container is some water. And you're going to put your flower onto the water. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, Herbificus. And toss it down. And what's happening is the flower starts to open. And so as the water wets the paper, the flower begins to open. And you can add more flowers. So I'm going to toss our second one in there. And I'm going to use the pipette and just move it over a little bit so this one has a chance to bloom. And look at that, Herbificus. And you can have so much fun with this. You can make them for friends to put in their bath. You can include it with some of the bath bombs maybe at Christmas time or on their birthdays and just have a lot of fun with it. I hope you have a lot of fun today. I'm going to include some books that I really enjoyed, and I'm going to also include the links to the websites in the bottom of our description. So first of all, let's say happy birthday, Harry. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Harry! Thank you so much for joining us today. Please follow us on social media or visit us at whitbylibrary.ca for more programs and information about our collections. Thank you. Bye.